whether we like it or not, everyone in our churches, if not everyone, basically lots of people in our churches have access to one technology tool or another. And these are ways by which the churches can be very strategic. These are ways we can reach them. I'll give a typical scenario. One of the most difficult work to do is the work of the pastor. I always say this based on one thing. If you go to school, the universities or whichever level of education, the professor or the lecturer having the class will only have the year group there at a time. So if you do a course in business management, if you are level 200, level 300, level 400, they never combine those classes together. It is only in the church you will find a pastor with a 1 week old Christian and a 50-year-old Christian on one platform need to share something that will still reach to all the different levels. And at that point, as a pastor, if you are not able to adapt to the different things, even in your communication tool, to be able to bring the message to feed all the different nature, the kinds of people, then you will have yourself to blame. So what technology is giving to us today is the tool to be able to handle the challenges of how we are able to address issues around communication, to administer our assignment of caring for the sheep. I think that Dr. Kusi mentioned something with regards to, attendance, which is a very key thing to any pastor. And by that, it has also become a very interesting aspect of church management, to be able to find out where are our people. We read in the scripture where someone, or should I say, a shepherd loses one sheep, and he leaves the 99 to go look for the one. That should tell us the importance of looking for even the sheep that is lost. How would I go after them if I don't even know who they are? So it is very important and vital that we can keep track of some of those things. Yes, in some of our churches, or some of the churches that I have worked with, some of them keep registers, which is very cool. But then we all know the limitations of keeping physical registers. At the end of the day, if you don't have access to it, follow-ups will not happen. If you don't have access to it by way of all the different follow-ups are not going to happen. So this technology, or what Asoriba is giving to us, is a very great tool that will help us to advance the element of what we are trying to achieve.
So then, would you say tech does have some negative effects, and if it does, what are they?
I think the easier one I can, really bring my mind to is the distraction. So in as much as technology is great, but also the distraction it fulfills us in. Usually you will hear me call it technology demons. Because someone could be in church and opening their Bibles on their phones or their tablets. But then they get a message and they are totally sitting there but out of the service. So in as much as it's a great tool that helps, also it becomes a distraction if not handled and managed well. So that is one of the key things that technology, is playing with regards to action. But definitely the advantages could also outweigh some of those demerits.
Okay, so Doctor, I think you want to take this. 10 years from now, right, how do you see technology evolving as far as churches are concerned?
Let me touch briefly on a question on the problems of technology. It's really interesting. I don't know if I was shocked to hear this information that mobile phones today are, in fact, there's hardly any chemical difference between a mobile phone and cocaine. There's hardly any difference between a mobile phone and weed. Mobile phones generate just the same amount of addiction as smoking weed or cocaine. So we have a generation today that is addicted to mobile phones. All right, so it's illegal to use drugs, but it's not illegal to use mobile phones. Now just imagine when you leave your phone home for just 3 hours. Just imagine how it feels. All right, so it's very dangerous. All right, the technology poses a lot of problems, especially for this generation. We have a generation that does not know how to relate. The only friends they know how to make are Facebook friends, even when they want to propose to someone in marriage, they propose over the phone. So it's a serious generation, and the solution is some sort of balance. There is a need to have a balance so that, I have a book on happiness, and when I was putting that book together, part of the research came up that suicide rates has risen to an extreme level today. And it's just because human beings are more isolated today because of technology. So there is the need, despite the fact that we're speaking about technology, to be able to find that balance. Children and young people must still interact and play and use the traditional ways of relating to people on top of technology. Now, the future of the world is definitely going to be technology. I'm not big on technology, I'm not an expert, it's not my area, but the little I know is even today in the Western world, we have driverless cars coming on the scenes. So everything is moving towards technology, and everything is moving onto the mobile phone. TV on the phone, money on the phone. So the world is simply moving to the mobile phone. Anything you can imagine is getting down to the mobile phone, and so church must also get to the mobile phone so that we can reach the people.
Okay, great. So just as we concluded, I wanted to take one question from the audience that I've been prompted our time is up. So I did want to comment on the same question 10 years from now, right? How do you see technology evolve in the church, and we'll draw the curtain down with that?
Maybe one of the things, it might be way off, but one of the things that I can practically see is very soon we will have people not saying coming to church anymore. Let's have church in our homes from our phones. Pastor will sit in his office at home, and it's gonna happen, and when it's time for offering, we say, all right, everyone, just punch in, let's go.